And I'm going to say it for this reason. When you play against Detroit, KP, SA, it's easy to load up towards the ball because everybody knows that the ball has to be in the hands of Cade Cunningham. Now, we were talking about last year when the Knicks loaded up the ball with Jalen Brunson, with Thibodeau. That may have been that case scenario. I do think that the way James Harden and Donovan have to guard off the ball will be the key to this series. And it will come down to Karl Anthony Towns unlocking the offense. Because I think it's one thing when everybody can load up towards the ball. When you're off the ball and all the movement that the Knicks have off the ball, I think is an incredible opportunity for them to showcase this offense. 9 days off is a long time. But I will say, if they play their style of offense, which is the best offense, I think, right now in the NBA, with efficiency, with the way they're playing, I think the Knicks win it in 5. That's how I'm going to say they match up.
I think that is very, very disrespectful.
Yes.
I think that is very
Started my Monday off being disrespectful.
I think that is very disrespectful. This series is going at least 6 or 7 games, to be honest with you. 6 or 7 games. And I'm going to tell you why. Throughout the course of this postseason, we've watched Jared Allen and Evan Mobley change the narrative about themselves. Because they was being called the hostess cupcakes. People were saying they were creamy in the middle, Twinkies, honey buns, whatever you want to call it. That's what they were at some point in time.
He ain't any of those.
They have changed the narrative on that. When you talk about Evan Mobley, listen, Evan Mobley, and I know people may say, "Oh, Perk is crazy." No, I'm not crazy. He could have not on the same level, just a smaller level impact defensively that Victor Wembanyama has. That's how versatile Evan Mobley is. Jared Allen has finally found that I don't know who gave him heart over the offseason or through this postseason, but his level of physicality has picked up. And so when I'm looking at the others, Wade, Merrill, all of these guys have found some type of tenacity. And so now we know that they can put up buckets with the best of them. By the way, Donovan Mitchell playing back at the crib in New York where he's from, he's known to put some major points up. So all I'm saying is I don't think that it's going to be as easy as people think it is. You know, a la Russ, a guy here, he think that it's going to be a cakewalk. You know, I hope we could put the camera on and look at his face for a little bit.
He walked in
but Stephen A., I'm just saying, I got the Knicks winning, but they better not walk in here comfortable and be like, oh, it's just over because we didn't want to face Detroit. We actually wanted this matchup. No, it's not going to be that easy.
The Cleveland Cavaliers are not the Atlanta Hawks or the Philadelphia 76ers. The Cleveland Cavaliers are a different beast, and we know that they have the talent to win this series. I believe this is going a minimum of 6 games. I agree with you, Perk. It wouldn't surprise me if it takes 7 for the New York Knicks to win at the Garden, but I'm picking the Knicks to win this series, of course. I think that when you look at Jalen Brunson, he's averaging 20. He averaged 25. They played 3 times this year. Knicks won 2 of those games. He averaged 25 against them, but it was like 34% from the field, 36% from three-point range. You got some bodies that the Cleveland Cavaliers could throw at big body Brunson. It's really going to be, to me, about Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby's health and the others. I think that one of the things that you look at Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, and you have to concede, is that the New York Knicks are not going to have it as easy with their big men as they did against Philadelphia because of Embiid's health, and as they did against Atlanta, who was soft as cottonelle tissue. You ain't going to have that kind of situation against Cleveland. With Allen and with Mobley, you're going to have some big bodies to contend with on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And in Donovan Mitchell, you're going to have a star that you have to deal with, okay? Let's not forget Strus, who's got some experience and has been hitting some big-time shots. Let's not forget this kid, Sam Merrill, and what he brings to the table in terms of his ability to make shots. So they have cats that can make some outside shots. Obviously, against the New York Knicks, they're going to have to step it up defensively, defending the three-point shot and what have you. They're going to have to do all of these things. But in the end, I think it'll be a lengthy series, Jay. I don't see this going 5 games. I think it's going to go 6 or 7. If I had to put my money on it, I would say Knicks in 7 because I expect the Cleveland Cavaliers to win at least 2 of these games, and I expect it to be a nail-biter of a series. That's how I view it.
I'm with you. All I'm saying to you is that Mikal Bridges against Donovan Mitchell, that size and that length is differentiated. I will say Dean Wade, the way those guys, Max Strus, the way they defend. Don't forget, Jalen Brunson is more off the ball now than he is on the ball. So when they're guarding Cade Cunningham and they're guarding the full length of the court, once again, everybody knows where their target is coming from. So I'm with you. It could be a series. I'm just saying, I think even with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, they're allowed to play more traditional basketball when you're going against Duren and the other guys, back to the basket, post up. Now they got to be more on the perimeter so you can take away that advantage of blocking out the sun. It's just the style makes it for a different fight with how the Knicks are playing now.
And that's a great point. And I'm going to tell you what's going to have to happen for Kenny Atkinson. He's going to have to make a business decision whether or not, because he's going to have to go small. Yep. He's going to have to go small, meaning small is Evan Mobley is either going, or Jared Allen is going to be on the floor. They're going to have to stagger those minutes because they can't have two bigs on the floor. You can't have, Jared Allen at times was guarding Asua Thompson a lot, correct? And he wasn't leaving the paint. So he was leaving him wide open to down to take shots, kind of like the Draymond Green, Russell Westbrook treatment, Ben Wallace treatment, the Perk treatment. They used to do that to me a lot. I ain't lying. They used to do that to me a lot. So, again, you can't do that to the Knicks. I believe they're the best three-point shooting team or one of the best in the postseason. They will make you pay.
Okay. We'll have time to dissect this tomorrow, of course, when Game 1 actually happens on Tuesday. Just to point out here, Donovan Mitchell averages nearly 27 points per game at the Garden in his career. Let's go to the other side of last night's game. That would be the disappointment side, obviously, the Detroit Pistons. They had the best record in the East during the regular season. They are going home now as that 1 seed. Here's head coach J.B. Bickerstaff after the loss.
These guys every single day give us what they got. So it is not a disappointment. It's a loss, and it's a tough loss. But that adjective will never be used as this group.
Okay, so he's not going to use it. Are we? Would you consider this season a disappointment for the Pistons, Stephen A?
Yes, because they didn't make the conference finals. They were the number 1 seed. They won 60 games, major props to them or whatever. But I'm just talking about their expectations. Once we saw what we saw, particularly from Cade Cunningham emerging as a league MVP candidate, it's not that the result, meaning losing the series, was a disappointment. It's how they went out on your home court in a Game 7, down by damn near 40. That's the disappointment. That's where that comes in, because it reminded us of what their deficiencies are. We got to give credit where credit is due to J.B. Bickerstaff, who was my coach of the year. You don't have Malik Beasley because of personal reasons he got himself into. You lose Dennis Schroeder, of course, Tim Hardaway Jr., and you're looking at Cade Cunningham, and you really, really didn't have a bona fide secondary scorer. We saw it in the previous series against Orlando when Tobias Harris showed up and really showed out. But that wasn't the case for him against Cleveland. Jalen Duren and these boys, we didn't see but so much from them as well. And Detroit appeared extremely limited. So you almost feel like, listen, the better team won the series. Cleveland is obviously offensively is a better opponent than the Detroit Pistons, and you got to say that for sure. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint, it was a successful season, no doubt, to win 60 games, to get to Game 7 of the conference semifinals. But the flip side to it is that 7th game, how you ended it, getting blown out on your home turf like that, it just showed you how deficient Detroit really was. And that was where the disappointment lied. Not in anything else, just in that.
I think it was a great season for the Detroit Pistons. Seriously, all across the board. For a few reasons that you just alluded to, Stephen. Now, you just talked about them losing Malik Beasley, Dennis Schroeder, Tim Hardaway Jr.,